It might be the international break, but it doesn't mean we can't have fun. It doesn't mean we cannot find value as well in this video. We've got a BTTS double coming up. We've also got a bet builder, a couple of bet builders actually, for Lee Carsley's first game as England manager. We're going to check out the EFL, which has still got quite a few games on despite the international break. And then I'm also going to share later in this video an over 2.5 goals mega list, which you can access for free. So stay tuned for that. And my question for you this weekend, if you want to win Odd Alerts Pro, just comment down below. The question is this: who will be the first goal scorer in the Lee Carsley England era? Away at Ireland on Saturday. And we're going to cover that game in detail. As I say, we've got a couple of bet builders, both around 4 odds. So let's get into it, shall we? Without further ado, run the intro.
Football drives our hearts. Data plays its part. Value bets we seek with Joe from OddAlerts.com.
So the first game from our BTTS double for this weekend comes from Friday. The second is from Saturday. We've got 20 games played here in Finland. Atlantis 2 against Grifk, I guess. Third hosting fourth. 80% in terms of 3 or more goals at home for Atlantis. This is why you should prepare, your bets and stuff. This actually, I looked at this on Thursday afternoon, and the odds on Bet365 for BTTS were actually 1.57, and that's when I noted it down. I'm recording this on Friday morning, so you can see they've dropped already, and you can see that it is as low as 1.36. Unibet still 1.56, so I actually locked in 1.57 when I saw that, and I actually saw it because of the new value bet alerts that are now being tested with season ticket holders and API users. It looks like this. And this is, as you can see, the game. So if we look at the results, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in terms of goals conceded for the home team. Just 2 wins in that period. At home, it is a bit better, isn't it? But they are still conceding goals in the last 4 games. And for Grifk, I guess that's how you say that, they are a very good home team, just 2 defeats. Away from home, though, not very good. And the goals are also being conceded there in the last 5 games. So both of these teams in the last 5. So the head-to-head 2-1 was the outcome in the previous game, and that was also a home game for Atlantis. So this one is a value bet, and as I say, it was shown to me on the new value bet alerts, which is now being tested with season ticket holders and API users. And the beta for that came out literally yesterday. So if you are a season ticket holder or an API user, please give me some feedback on that and how it's been working for you so far. For the second option, we head to Wales. The Welsh Premier League continues, and Newton Town, is it Newton Town? It's just Newtown. It's a new town, and they're playing Britain Ferry. So Britain Ferry playing catch-up. They've only played 4 games compared to 5. There's some teams in this league that have played 2. TNS, I imagine, because of their European involvement. And this one, again, I looked at this last night. It was 1.72 for BTTS. Let's see if the odds have dropped. They have not dropped. They have increased 1.73, but it is as low, again, as 1.62 with Betfair, with Tipico, with 10bet. And this one, I will let you decide after we take a look at the game, because for me, you could go with goals here instead, lower odds, but it's potentially a bit safer, as you'll see when we look at the teams. So both teams, negative goal difference so far. In terms of goals scored, just 2 for the away team. But as we'll see in a minute, both of those goals have come in the last couple of games. No nil-nils, no clean sheets, over 2.5 goals in 80% of games for Newton. And both of these teams, if we look at the results, they're not doing too great, just 2 wins out of 5 for Newton. If we look at their home record, 5 or more goals in both of the games, a 4-0 defeat and a 4-1 victory. So a mixed bag. And of course, the probability model is working on data from this season, but also largely from last season when it calculates the BTTS percentage. And it is early doors, but if you look at that, that is why you could imagine over 2.5 goals here as well. So it's up to you on the double. but I have made a double 1.57 and 1.72. I got it at yesterday, actually. So it's increased ever so slightly. Let me know what you think about this one. I will link both of these games in the description. And from our BTTS double, let's move over to England's first game under new manager, caretaker manager Lee Carsley, because there is quite a lot to take in and talk about whilst we put together these bet builders. So for the England game, we will be using the player props tool, and all you have to do is search Ing, and we will see Republic of Ireland versus England, and we'll click on it. And I'm looking at fouls here, last 20 games and fouls, and you can see Conor Gallagher's right up there. And as I said before, I think you've got potential for Conor Gallagher to start next to Rice or Mainu. Angel Gomez as well is in the team, isn't he? So it's going to be, one of those three players. Morgan Gibbs-White may be playing as the 10 now that Cole Palmer is out and Foden is out and Bellingham is out. It's a big chance for Morgan Gibbs-White, as I said, and a big chance for Anthony Gordon. Here he is, 0.71 fouls, and we had him on actually for a foul in the Newcastle game, and we had a couple of bet builders for the Newcastle game shared on X and shared on Discord, and they both won, and also the Man United-Liverpool game, that one won as well. The Chelsea game, we were winning a 6-1 bet builder, and then Crystal Palace had a corner in the last seconds of the game to equal the corner count for both teams. We had Chelsea to have the most corners, and they did for the majority of the game, and then that last corner went the wrong way. So I will try and do more bet builders because they've been very successful at the moment, but hopefully these videos can also just show you the process really as well. Now Declan Rice there towards the top, 0.89 fouls per game, so less than 1, but of course he did get a red card in his previous game, didn't he? Debatable red card. Now Rice, there's a bit of history here. So if we go to players, fouls committed, Declan Rice, 1.53 to commit a foul against Ireland, and I think Irish players, the fans, it's not at Wembley this. They will be booing him, they will be going in hard on him, and who's to say he doesn't just retaliate a little bit. So Declan Rice to commit a single foul, that's all you need. 1.53, I think that's a pretty good price, to be honest. And then Anthony Gordon starting on that left. If he does, of course, I'm recording this before the lineups are out, but we can only guess, and Lee Carsley does have a very good record, shall we say, with Anthony Gordon, and I think we will see some of these players. Certainly we will see wingers playing more like wingers under Lee Carsley than we did under Southgate. That is absolutely for sure. So Anthony Gordon to score or assist, 3.6. That is the first one. So a Rice foul and Anthony Gordon to score or assist. It's pretty simple stuff, isn't it? But it's a nice little double. Now, that's the first one. Let's put together another one. Now, I mentioned the wingers and the way Lee Carsley will want to play, and I believe that Lee Carsley in this game, don't tell me they've removed corners. No, there it is. I actually think England will have considerably more corners than they have been having in recent times. Under Southgate, they hardly had any corners, hardly conceded corners as well. So England to have 5 or more corners, over 4 corners in the game, 1.5. And again, I think that's a good base. And the way that Carsley sets up, I wouldn't be surprised if Madueke plays this game and Gordon on the other side, really wide, really stretching them, really running at them. And again, Lee Carsley will want to stamp his authority on this game. He might not get the job if Tuchel becomes available or someone else that fits the FA's profile a bit better. They might go for them. But Lee Carsley has a big moment, a big chance to say, look, this is how I'm going to play, and England fans might take to it. And that might be the most important thing. So more wingers, more width usually means more corners. Now for the second part here, we're going to go for fouls. And again, Anthony Gordon, we saw on the previous screen that he does like to commit fouls. And if we just go and find him and look at his profile, we can see in the previous game against Tottenham that he committed 2 fouls, and we actually had him on for a foul in that game on the bet builders that I shared on X. Anthony Gordon to commit a foul, and again, if you want to change any of these, you might need to if Gordon doesn't start, but I do believe he will start on that left side. Let's see. And final option here is actually the full-time result, which takes us to, well, yesterday it was 3.6. The odds must have dropped for England, so 3.5. This is my second one. Let me know what you think in the comments, and remember, if you want to win Odd Alerts Pro this weekend, comment who will be the first goal scorer in the Lee Carsley era for England. So we've got England to win, Anthony Gordon to commit a foul, and over 4 corners for England, that is 3.5. So they are my 2 slips, my 2 bet builders for the England game. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let's move on to the next section. A couple more sections to go then. We are going to look at some EFL games. There are still games, as you can see here, plenty in League 2, 3 in League 1, including Rexam Shrewsbury, which should be an interesting game. What we're going to do is take a look at these and put together a treble using the probability model. And then we are going to go away. I'm not going to go away, but I'm going to go to another section and create a digital shortlist on over 2.5 goals for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and I'm going to share it with you, okay? And then you'll be able to get it in the comments. So, without further ado, I don't think I said that at the start, did I? Without further ado, let's take a look at some of these games. So, Dorking Wanderers against Weymouth. Now, they are 1.4 to win this game, Dorking Wanderers. And I just wanted to show you this one because I came across the away team. They've lost every single away game, but when you look at their results, it is much worse than that. They have lost every single game and they have not scored a goal since the opening day. Now, Dorking Wanderers, they've won 3 of their opening 7 games. BTTS landing in the last 3 games. They've conceded in all but 1 game. Can Weymouth improve and get a goal? Unlikely. Unlikely that they'll win. But if you wanted to have fun with the potential single here, you could maybe have BTTS at 1.91. You could maybe go Dorking and over 2.5 goals, or Dorking and BTTS 3.25, because Dorking have been conceding, as you can see, regardless of the opponent at the moment. They played Averley previously, who were 22nd, 3-1 defeat, 2-2, 2-1, 1-0. They've only won once in the last 5 games. So this is a must-win for them at this stage of the season. I mean, it's not a must-win. They're still probably 5 or 6 points away from the playoffs. But it's a big game. So for over 2.5 goals, if you want to take away some of the risk, 1.67, I quite like that. That can be one of the options that we put on this treble. So let's go and add that. So for the next game, I've just put together a quick filter. I'm just filtering on the odds for over 1.5 goals. Now, it's only going to show us games with 1.3 odds or more, and we can toggle to check out the probability model here. Morecambe, that game I've already checked out. Morecambe are not scoring at all. They haven't scored a goal this season, and this could be the game that breaks the chain, but it could also be more of the same. Braintree, Woking. Let's hit 1, shall we, to view the stats scroller again. Just so we can get a look at the average goals scored. 1.29 and 1.14. This one here, Alfreton Town against Scarborough Athletic. 1.71 and 1.86. 7th hosting 9th. Let's take a look at this one because they played 7 games, so a bit of a better sample size, although it's still early in the season, isn't it? So 13 goals scored and 12 goals scored. Let's have a look at the recent results just to get a feel for this game. A few draws in there, and the last game was a 0-0. But at home, they've scored 2 or more in every game. Scarborough have conceded 2 or more in 2 out of 3, and there has been plenty of goals, at least 3 in every away game that they've played. Both of these teams come into this on the back of a 0-0. What are the chances that there will be back-to-back 0-0s for both teams? The last meeting between these teams, it was a 1-0 win. Before that, 3-1. I quite like this one to add to the mix. Let's have a look at the AI fixture simulation, shall we? We generate. It's a 1-0. It's a 1-0 win. You know what? Risk and reward. Let's go for it. Oop, just clicked on filters by accident. Alfreton Town. Alfreton. So over 1.5 goals takes us to 1.33. Let's find another game, a final game. So Charlton hosting Rotherham. They still play. Mustn't have too many players on international duty. That defeat there last week to Reading was Nathan Jones's first league defeat, I believe, in quite a while. You can see here he's done a good job, hasn't he? And they will be expecting playoffs or promotion. They've averaged 2.25 points per game so far. If they keep that up, still early doors, of course, if they keep that up, then it's going to be a very good season for them. Rotherham United, who've been a yo-yo team as of late, if we look at their League One form so far, they beat Huddersfield, but they hadn't won or scored before that. So have they turned a corner? Away from home, 2 defeats, no goals scored. This is a tricky one to call because of that previous result, because of the way they came back against Huddersfield Town. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments. I'm not really sure what to do with that one because on the other side of the coin, Charlton have hardly conceded a goal. They've kept 3 clean sheets. But I would say Rotherham, on paper, is potentially their toughest game coming up. They play Wigan, Leyton Orient, Bolton. Bolton would have been a very tough game last year, but I think that playoff defeat has knocked them a bit. They don't look like the same team at all this season. And Reading, surprise defeat there for Nathan Jones. So that's Charlton against Rotherham. I'm not keen on that one, if I'm being honest. So give me a minute and I'll find the final selection for our bet builder. Let's take a look at the Wrexham game, Rexam Shrewsbury. And if we look across the last period of time, Wrexham are starting the season very, very strongly, aren't they? Unbeaten, and they've conceded in just 1 game, the opening game. So, yeah, what a start to the season. And to be fair to them, coming into League One, you've had to play Wycombe, Bolton, Reading, and then Peterborough away, where you win 2-0. They're going to be going straight for promotion again, aren't they? And Shrewsbury got their first win of the season in the previous game, which makes this one interesting. Away from home, 2 defeats, no goals scored. So Wrexham for the win is a potential option there, 1.45. It is negative value as per the probability model, 1.53 implied odds. But Wrexham absolutely smashing it already. If you wanted to add that one, it would take it to 2.71 for the treble. So I'm actually going to cut that one off because the game I want to pick is Notts County. Now, they've let me down once this season for over 1.5 goals, and it's 1.12. So actually, we are going to go with Wrexham. Do we go for the Wrexham win or over 1.5 goals? What do you think is more likely, that they win or that there is 1 or more goals? Let's live a little bit dangerously this weekend. 1.45 added, and that takes us to 3.22. That is our EFL/National League slip, treble, of 1.25 goals in the Dorking Weymouth game. Weymouth absolutely abysmal away from home, and just in every game, to be fair. Alfreton Town and Scarborough, we saw the stats there. 1.5 goals at 1.33 looks good value. And then Wrexham starting the season so strong. And you expect them to win the majority of their home games this season, especially against teams like Shrewsbury. What a start they've made to the season. Given the teams that they have played so far, they will be absolutely delighted. So 3.22, let me know what you think in the comments. Any comment automatically entered into a draw to win Odd Alerts Pro. And finally, the mega list. The mega list, here it is. Teams that have played 10 games or more. And we're going to lean on the probability model. And we're going to say over 2.5 goals. Let's go 70%. And let's also qualify that the away team has scored in 8 of the last 10 games. So we'll save that rule. And then we hit search for Friday. And we get Australian games. That's not a surprise at all, is it? And then we're going to hit next 5 days. And it'll apply the rules to the next 5 days. And load in the games. So you can see we've got games up until Sunday here. We've got games from Iceland. We've got a lot of games from Australia. We've got games from Panama, the MLS Next Pro. We've got games from Sweden. You can edit this if you want. On the site, you could put this down to 0 if you wanted to get in those, or down to 5 or something, if you wanted to get those EFL games in and games from leagues that are just starting up. But I will share this with you. Share list. Goals for the weekend. Can't type. Okay, that is going to be a pinned comment. And don't forget to comment who you think will be the first goal scorer in the Lee Carsley era. Thanks for watching, and I guess all that's left to say is run the outro.
Football drives our hearts. Data plays its part. Value bets we seek with Joe from OddAlerts.com. Come along for the ride, where stats and passion collide. Find the edge inside with Joe from OddAlerts.com. Winning more than just a game. Joe's the one to take the fame. Value bets ignite the flame at OddAlerts.com. Football drives our hearts. Data plays its part. Value bets we seek with Joe from OddAlerts.com. Come along for the ride, where stats and passion collide. Find the edge inside with Joe from OddAlerts.com. Winning more than just a game. Joe's the one to take the fame. Value bets ignite the flame at OddAlerts.com.